If only she could read. Yep. We are single, married, partnered. We are with and without children. We are born Jewish, Jews by choice, and non-Jews married to Jews. We are new and long-time members. We are mothers, daughters, and sisters.
Lechilach. Together, we are going forward in new ways and with new horizons, providing an environment of friendship, intellectual growth, and spirituality for our members. Serving our temple through social and educational programs, fundraising and financial support, engaging women in activities that promote tikkun olam. We make a difference.
Before we continue with the service and with the candle lighting, which is in your book, I just want to point out that we have an unusual place in our choir, and on that chair there are 5 kippot. And those 5 kippot are in honor of people we have lost. So I would like to mention Alice Holm, Joan Becko, Joan Stuckner, Judy Groh, and uniquely, John Henry, who admired Joyce's face from his chair for every single service. So to our choir members, we honor them with the kippot we're wearing, and the kippot on the chair.
This light is mine. It was given to me in love. It was given to me in peace. This light was hers, that mother in our past who held it with pride. This light was theirs, those sisters of the ages who held it in awe. This light will be theirs, those daughters of our heart. May they hold it with care.
שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך לך טובתי, לקראת קהלה, בני בני שבת כמלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי בעורק קומי אורי, אורי אורי, שיר תעברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך לך טובתי, לקראת קהלה, בני בני שבת מקבלה. בואי ושלום את ערב בלה, גם בשמחה ובזוהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך לך טובתי, לקראת בני בני
So Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and welcome to our Sisterhood Shabbaton. I have to say, it is amazing to hear the choir after these years of not hearing our voices together like this. It is such, we have this expression in Hebrew, a machaya. It really is like life-affirming to hear all of these voices together. So thank you all for being here. And in particular, there is certainly much to celebrate the Shabbat of our sisterhood, of course. We have a bride and groom, Leora and Elijah. We're so delighted to give you a blessing later in our service, and that your family is here from near and far. Bruchim Aba'im, welcome. We're so glad that you're here as well. Sometimes on Shabbat, it's, always good to have that sense of being able to take a deep breath, and this Shabbat in particular, I'm taking an extra deep breath of relaxation. It has been a day, a week, a month, a whole lot, but I know that sometimes when people, hear about our sisterhood is so active and engaged and wonderful, and sometimes people say, well, why do we need a sisterhood in 2022? What's going on? But the thing is, there's something really powerful about women coming together and women's voices in particular. And I think this wasn't planned, but on this Shabbat of all Shabbats, after the news, to be able to center women's voices is really very powerful and appreciated. So we're very, very glad to be able to do that this evening. So for those of you who haven't yet figured this out, I think most of you have, but we're not using the regular siddur tonight. We are in the special service handout, this booklet. So if you don't have one and you'd like to, there are some just outside of the sanctuary doors. But for now, we're going to continue on page 3 as we rise together, Chatzi Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שם רבה, ועל מה דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל, בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם עולם ועמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה קדוש בחטא ונחמתה דמירה בעלמא והימרו אמן. ברכו את אדוני המבורך. ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. Please be seated. Annika? Center. Okay.
Mariv Araviv. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai Mahariv Avravim.
Amen. We'll continue with Ahavat Olam on page 4 on the bottom. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amchavta Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim otanu limadeta Al ken Adonai Eloheinu v'shochbeinu uvkumeinu nasiach bechukecha v'nismach b'divrei toratecha ובמצוותיך לעולם לעולם ועד כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגד יומם ולילה ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. Invite up Rachel Rubini. Where are you? Yeah, there you are.
You have to listen to hear. Shh. Can you hear? Can you hear the surprises and delight in Sarah's laughter? Can you hear the joy and pride in Miriam's song? Can you hear the strength and wisdom in Dvorah's clear judgments? Can you hear warmth in a grandmother's voice calling children to the Sabbath table? Can you hear a mother's love as she recites the Sabbath blessings? Can you hear a daughter's clear, high voice chanting as she joins a circle of women? Can you hear sisters' earnest prayers as they share their goodness and courage? Can you hear a granddaughter's newborn cry as she joins the Jewish chorus? Can you hear your own heart beating, reaching to join the song of praise for Adonai? Shh. Can you hear? Can you hear the women who came before you? Can you hear the women yet to come? Can you hear us all as one? Shh. Listen. Hear.
We'll join together now in the Shema. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. אמת.
Mi chamocha. We believe in tomorrow. We believe as Jews that we have the power to make tomorrow different from today. We believe that ignorance, poverty, insensitivity to others need not be permanent. We believe in people, despite all that we know about them. We believe that there can yet be a time of peace, of sisterhood and brotherhood, and a time of tranquility for all. We believe that we have a share in bringing that day closer, with actions each day. The world may smile at our dreamers, but no matter, we believe.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Help us to walk with good friends so that we can lie down in peace, rise up ready to do what we know is needed, and live with hope as we face the future. Baruch atah Adonai, haporeis sukat shalom, aluned oh my gosh, Aleinu ve'akol amo Yisrael, Ba'al Yerushalayim. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people, Israel, and over Jerusalem.
A thought has blown the marketplace away. There's a song on the wind and joy in the trees. Shabbat arrives in the world, scattering a song in the silence of the night, and eternity utters a day.
Adonai sfatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. I am a Jew who is a woman, and I pray. I braid the dough for the challah and bless the Shabbat candles, and wrap myself in the talit I have woven, and I pray. I am a link between those who stood at Sinai and those who survived the Shoah, those who would dream and build futures, and those who will gather the shattered shards of glass to heal the world. And I pray, I am a woman who is a Jew.
We'll rise together now for the Amidah. Page 9.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעם אדוני, מחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי מתים ברחמים רבים, צומח נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים. ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך? מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה ונאמן אתה לחיות מתים. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי המתים. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh.
Amen.
Please be seated.
Let us not walk sightless among miracles, unseen. Adonai, give light to our eyes. Awaken us to the beauty of each new day, days that glow with sunshine, butterflies, and the laughter of children. Nights that spread a quiet, peaceful warmth around us. Awaken us to the beauty of the blessing of love. Families who are precious, friends who are dear. Awaken us to the glories of nature. To the miracles all around us, whether pelting storm or soft summer breeze, awaken us, Adonai, to you, as we learn to see and rejoice in the blessings of your everlasting love.
ועל כולם יתברך ויתרומם, יתברך ויתרומם, שמך מלכנו תמיד לעולם ואין, וכל החיים יודוך סלע, ויהללו את שמך באמת, האל ישועתנו ועזרתנו, עזרתנו סלע. ועל כולם, ועל כולם יתברך ויתרומם, יתברך ויתרומם, שמך מלכנו תמיד לעולם ואין. ברוך אתה אדוני, הטוב שמך, הטוב שמך, ולך נאה, נאה להודות. Guard my tongue from evil, all evil, my lips from speaking guile. Purify my heart from malice, give me shelter from pride. Teach me how to reflect on the journey of my soul. Hear my spirit sing, how clear to me the struggle to find you in all I may do.
turn now to the bottom of page 12 for our Mishaberach, our prayer of healing. We think particularly of those in our own lives, our congregational family, and our own circle of friends and family. And particularly this Shabbat, we think of Mordechai ben Sarah, Cantor Mark Bridowich, Alan Pitch, Yona Neri ben Avraham Vasara, Adele Kirkle, Ellen Becker, Naomi DeZormo, Julian Carney, Eli Pont, Asher Gavriel ben Mordechai Yehoshua Vasara Elishev, Riley Tregabov, Isabel Somech, Sigrapi Pramko, David Coulter, Apollonia Wilczynski, Paula Freeman, Loretta Atkins, Elena Cobb, Annette Albert, Carla Zivit, Rose Godfrey, Doris Medved, Janet Gelb, Jean Angus, Yehudit Bat Avraham Vasara, Judy Steiner Lossberg, David Shlomo Gorney, Andrea Jarzbiak. I invite you, if there are other names to mention for our healing prayer, if you would, to rise and share those names out loud at this time.
May the one who blessed our ancestors bless all those who put themselves at risk to care for the sick, physicians, nurses, orderlies, technicians, and home health aides, EMTs and pharmacists, hospital social workers and respiratory therapists. They navigate the unfolding dangers of the world each day to tend to those they have sworn to help. Bless them in their coming home and bless them in their going out. Ease their fear, sustain them, source of all breath, healer of all beings. Protect them and restore their hope. Strengthen them that they may bring strength. Keep them in health that they may bring healing. Help them know again a time when they can breathe without fear. Bless the sacred work of their hands. May this plague pass from among us speedily and in our days.
Now, my honor to invite our Darshanit, our speaker this evening, Dahlia Israel, to share with us her drosh this Shabbat.
I've been in person with people several times in the past week, and every day after, I feel like I need to sleep for 12 hours. And as an extrovert, it's a bit strange to feel that way. So I'm really grateful to be here. As Rabbi Brown said, it seems like the universe has brought this particular service alongside of the news that we received today from the Supreme Court in the US. And so a lot of what I was going to talk about is a little bit shifted to just honor the time and the place that we are in as a society. I wanted to start by saying that we are incredibly grateful to gather on unceded and ancestral territory of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh people here. And since our theme is about going forward all together, it feels like an important piece to acknowledge. That as the first peoples of these lands that have been dispossessed, that we share a history of that as well, and that we can honor that while we get together and be together. So I'm sure that everybody's enjoyed the service so far. It's been beautiful and so inspiring. And as I said, I wanted to just bring kind of the social context of what we're living through into what I'm going to talk about. So it's my understanding, having spoken with folks on the Sisterhood, that this particular service started when there were no women on the bima at all. And while we are certainly not in that place any longer as a congregation, as a reform movement, we certainly have been shown by the news today that if we don't recall and anchor ourselves in the fights and advocacy of the past, things can shift quite quickly and dramatically and devastatingly. I grew up in the feminist movement. I am still part of the local feminist movement, and one of the things that I always want to acknowledge is the shoulders that we stand on of the women and many of the trans folks in our community that have done so much work to get us to the places that we are. And so acknowledging that work, that I know that many people feel like we're having the same conversations that were happening when I was born in the 70s, and that doesn't go unnoticed. So just to honor our elders. I think realizing today that people who have the possibility of getting pregnant, so women and trans folks, are facing a devastating loss to our autonomy, to the dispossession, again, similar to these lands, of our bodies and our ability to choose, and that Canada is not far behind. We have it a little bit different, but when they come for reproductive justice and rights, many of our other rights are also not far behind. So this week's Torah portion reminds us that we are all made in the image of the divine and deserve love and to live our truth and to be free. Rabbi Jericho Vincent tells us, if folks haven't followed Jericho, it's a great Instagram to follow. Every Friday, they remind us of the oldest book club in the world and what's happening from their view and their vantage point. And so they remind us that this week, our ancestors have emerged from many generations of slavery, and that scouts are sent in to our ancestral homelands to check out what's happening. And once the scouts return, they are very concerned. They describe being daunted by the idea of retaking ancestral homelands. They describe those living on the lands as giants. The scouts say, "We looked like grasshoppers to ourselves, and therefore we must have looked that way to them." So this report terrifies the people who beg to change the plans of reclaiming the ancestral homelands. And now, as we know, folks are wandering for 40 years. So Rabbi Vincent reminds us that there's a simple lesson here, but a powerful one. The way we perceive ourselves can color the way that we assume that others judge us. Those assumptions can have major consequences. As we face decisions of complicated consequences in the future and now, may we remember what we perceive to be true about ourselves may be deeply influenced by the systems that directly influence and impact our lives. When we judge ourselves, we can also move into judging others. So as I reflect back on my journey with Judaism, this could not ring more true. When I finished my bat mitzvah, I judged myself harshly for not seeing the values and the things that spoke to me and my community central at shul. Folks in my community were experiencing racism, sexism, classism, homophobia, transphobia, and it was impacting me and people who I loved. So because of these issues didn't speak to be spoken about publicly in shul, what happened was a fracture. And now when I look back on it, I realize that much of that was about me judging myself and not asking. Because what I know since I had my son and since I've been able to find so many inspiring, amazing Jews as I lived my life in my secular Judaism, every person that I was deeply inspired by, Judith Butler, Leslie Feinberg, Micah Bazant, Harvey Milk, were all amazing radical Jews. And so for me, what it reminds me this week is to remember that we can often judge ourselves and feel judged by others, but we need to also find the bravery and the courage to ask for the things that we need. And so what's super inspiring is our sisterhood has been a place where I can come back and try to find the pathway to meld all of these values and pieces of myself with this shul that I've been a part of since I was that age, screaming in the hallways. And that this can feel like home, and that we can keep pushing each other and remembering that we also, while the world is on fire and anti-Semitism is rising alongside of all of the other horrendous things, that we can keep doing internal work as well to keep aligning our values and to keep remembering that assimilation impacts us just like racism and sexism, and all of those things are alive for us, that we can bring all of these things together and braid them together. And so I'm thrilled to be here and to share my process, to share my journey, and to be so excited about continuing to move forward and bring my kiddo, who's 7, into this space, into a place of knowing that he can rely on our beautiful teachings and find himself here as a whole human. So thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Dahlia. That was really terrific, and your message was so well spoken and taken in, I think. So it's my honor to invite, I get to say this for the very first time, our immediate past president, Melody at Robin's Paradise, who also happens to be the aunt of the bride, to share some words of announcements.
Thank you, Rabbi Brown. Shabbat Shalom. I like the way that sounds. Immediate past president. I'm so delighted to be here to share the Sisterhood Shabbaton along with all of our family and our Kala and Chatan. Also Mazal Tov to Elisa Street for receiving Sisterhood's Jan Pollock Volunteer Recognition Award for this year. A few other announcements. You are invited this Sunday, for those people who are not going to the wedding, to Sisterhood's Tikkun Olam Go-Go's Outdoor Craft Fair from 10:30 to 3 p.m. At 5462 Granville Street. Lots of exciting items for sale, go-go bags, pouches, jewelry, cards, etc. COVID-19 guidelines will be followed and masks are appreciated. And this is hosted by the Tikkun Olam Go-Go's along with the Van Go-Go's. All proceeds going to the Stephen Lewis Foundation Grandmothers Campaign. So that's this Sunday. Join the next gen for happy hour before Shabbat on the beach on Friday, July 8th from 4 to 5:15 at Castaway Bar and Kitchen and Kits. Drinks will be on the shul, not on us. We'll be walking or I will not be walking or taking the bus. I am not next gen. But you will be walking or taking the bus to Spanish Banks Beach to make it to Shabbat at 6 p.m. Pre-registration is required. And as we celebrate Shabbat and beautiful Vancouver, we'll gather at a Temple Shalom family for Shabbat on the beach on Friday, July 8th at 6 p.m. at Spanish Banks Beach. Festive and spiritual Shabbat experience. No registration required. Bring a blanket and your own picnic dinner. And please note there will be no 8 p.m. service on July 8th. And the Men's Club presents a walking tour of historic Jewish Vancouver on Sunday, July 10th at 10:30 a.m. with our own Michael Schwartz from the Jewish Museum and Archives of BC. Registration via our website. Mazal Tov to the Sisterhood and to the bride and groom, and Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Melody. So now it is a pleasure to invite Elijah Stone and Leora Paradise, our groom and bride, to come join us on the bima. Elijah and Leora have been planning this day for a really long COVID time. And we're so, so happy that finally we are here. And as a congregation, we are really thrilled to be able to have you and your family be with us as we offer you a blessing before we head to the chuppah on Sunday. So I want to invite the congregation to please rise. So Elijah and Leora, as we stand here in front of the ark, we want to bestow this blessing, the Mishaberach, upon the two of you from not only the two of us, but also our whole congregation, that you have become a part of this family of Temple Shalom, and we are so delighted to be able to celebrate as a congregation with you tonight. Mishaberach avotenu v'imotenu Avraham, Yitzchak ve'Yaakov, Sar, Rivka, Rachel v'Leah, v'yivarech et hachatan ve'et hakala, v'yatzliach et darkam asher yelchu ba mehayom v'hala. Yachdav yimseu tamid chen v'chesed be'enei kol roehem, v'yizku livnot bait b'Yisrael l'Shem u'letehila, v'hi shalom b'veitam v'shalva v'hashket b'libotam kol hayamim, asher hem chayim al ha'adama. May God, who blessed the men and women of Israel in every generation, bless this bride and groom. May God guide them on life's journey. May their marriage be a joy and a good example to all who know them. May they fashion a Jewish home worthy of praise, a secure refuge where they find tranquility during all their days together. May the love of this couple inspire and bless their family, their friends, and the whole community of Israel, as together we say, Amen and Mazel Tov. Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov. Mazel tov, Leora
Mazel
and
tov.
Elijah. We'll remain standing as we continue with Aleinu on page I don't know what.
13.
13.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר ארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום בהשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת. אין עוד ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. On page 14, a reading before Kaddish. There are stars whose radiance is visible on earth, though they have long been extinct. There are people whose brilliance continues to light the world, though they are no longer among the living. These lights are particularly bright when the night is dark. They light the way for humankind. We remember the names of those who came before us. We especially think of those who have died recently or at this time in past years. And I invite you, as I read the name of your loved one, to stand in your place as you honor their memory. We are in Shloshim for Sam Aaron, Jean Cooperberg, Izzy Gandel, Sandra Landskroner, Igor Leventhal, Henya Perel, Richard Schwartzstein, Dr. Avram Sudak, and Faye Tenenhouse. And we mark Yahrzeit this week for Beatrice Fainer Abelson, Sydney Baker, Edith Barnett, Ruth Cadron, Fanny Kalm, Alan Cooper, Marcos Esquenazi, Sloim Fisher, Ruth Fuchs, Bessie Gladstone, Bert Gladstone, Abe Goldschlager, Annie Gorin, Minnie Grafstein, Boris Korodgodsky, Sandra Landskroner, Barbara Marks, Leonard Mishler, Isaac Morris, David Nidickman, Isaac Parker, David Rubenstein, Hester Rumberg, Jack Schwartz, Gladys Shepard, Yana Timko, Jim Tisdale, Mauritus van der Veen, Brian Wetstein, Charles Wormelli. There are others who have come to say Kaddish. I invite you to rise and share the name of your loved one at this time. We stand now as one congregation. Invite those who choose to join on page 14 in the words of Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, Be'alma divra chirute v'yamlich malchute. B'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agala v'zman kari v'imru.
Amen.
Yehi shmei rabba mevorach le'olam u'lamei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yit'aleh v'yit'alal shmei dekudsha b'richu. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru.
Amen.
Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru.
Amen.
Amen. Hi zichronam livracha. May their memories always be a blessing. As together we say, Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Please be seated. I'd like to invite Rachel Rubini to join again. Okay, excellent. The whole gang is here. Fantastic. On the other side, way on the other side, for Kiddush and Hamotzi.
Thank you.
Shabbat Shalom. Please join us in our social hall for an Oneg Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.